not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without prejudice. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
On a Thursday. This is what we do. And every week, it's like I keep thinking we're going to run out of BS to purge, and for some reason, it just keeps on showing up. So special shouts to my early arrival mods in the chat over there, Sebastian Palega, Al Bond. I know IMZ is viewing right now, and everybody else who's just stopping, and make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's prepare to purge this. Okay, I'm going to give y'all approximately 10 seconds to get yourselves together. I got a couple of things I need to go over today. And I'm going to start in one direction, end in another direction. We go all over the place. That's what we do. But first, before we get into that, I want to make sure that you guys do not forget to go check out freemanservices.org, FREEMAS.org. Check out the merch over there. You can always help out with the cause. More to it than just this podcast, but this is where we get to have good. Don't forget to check out the Discord. Jump on there. We're going to start having some conversation. There's some of the stuff that we can't really do on YouTube because they're a little more sensitive. Also, we're about to go into our Twitch situation. Twitch just got monetized, so apparently we're supposed to use that too. So we'll make sure that we get all those links in the descriptions and things going forward, but I just want you guys to be on. Really because of you that we're able to grow. As the growth is happening. So, speaking of growth. Now, y'all know I'm always talking about AI, and I'm going to say it that way. I can say that line. I'm always talking about AI. Some of the things that are coming up. And someone sent me a pretty interesting clip of like a movie that I guess was AI, and it looked pretty good. And I just wanted to give you guys a taste of the future that you'll be looking out for. After a while, we won't need actors and actresses. What they'll do is they'll take pictures of those people, and then they'll put them into the movie script, have them do whatever it is they need. We won't have a need for stunt people anymore. We won't have a need explosives experts and that deal with production on the set. That's all jobs that are going to be lost, by the way. I don't understand. So, nonetheless, if you're getting in, sure, like, subscribe, chat, support your independent creators, support the ones you support channels, support certain creators, make sure you actually support the job. A little bit of a job, but it's a fun job. Because even the algorithm starts to understand who's who and knows what to send. Cover it. So you got to be careful about it. Nonetheless, let me get y'all to this guy, Hollywood. Are you unable to hear me? This up. This up. This back. How about now? Let me get a number one if we're better now. What you got? Tell me something. Got to make sure we're good. Y'all got to be able to hear me. We're gonna get into the clip here. All right, let's do that and let's do that. Okay, let's do it. So apparently AI is coming for Hollywood hard, is what the topic was that was sent to me. AI is coming for Hollywood hard. Let's see what it's. Pause though, but we're gonna watch it.
We are now arriving in New City. Please alight from the front of the train.
New City, that's me.
Hold on. I gotta cut that sound. I know somebody's gonna be trying to talk about copyright. Go on. Seconds of. You know what? I'll just cut it later. I ain't got time for that. All right, first of all, she looks pretty real. Like, I'll be honest with you, if you did a movie and this was the quality of the characters that are being shown, this is pretty good. Pretty good rendering of whatever this lady looks like. I don't know what she actually looks like or if this is just a generated image of a person and a description, but if this was a real person's image based on the quality, I wouldn't know it wasn't real. I'm being honest.
New City Air.
There she is.
Oh, now it's gonna get crazy.
Yes. Woohoo! Ah! I love this bike. Woohoo! Ah!
We won't even need people to shoot commercials for vehicles anymore. Like, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Like, I'm looking at it and all I'm seeing is what you could do if it wasn't so crazy, like with the alien ships in the back, but you were just using real world references, certain cities and things like that. You could literally start creating commercials and nobody has to do anything. Nobody's going to have to do anything. Everybody's just going to be AI generated and it is what it is. But like I said, right now in this situation, because of certain limitations to one, AI, and number two, just the things that they're doing with the character, it's obvious that this is not real. But what is cinema? What is a movie? It's fiction. So it's also not real. It's just we're looking at this through the whole AI lens. But think about it like this. You think they can't create entertainment this way that people would interact with and they wouldn't have to pay actors? Like, they could come up with whole shows. They can come up with a sitcom full of AI characters, or AI Family Guy. You know what I'm saying? Shouts to Purple Groovy stopping in the chat as well. But no, like I said, there's some fakeness to it, but just, you gotta envision, you gotta look forward. Don't look at this. This is right now. Look at where it's going. So you're just gonna drop the bike. Okay.
Sorry.
Ooh, comfy.
All right, hold on. I gotta stop. What the hell AI generator are they using with that? Because that's really good. You know, it's not one of the cheap ones where you get the 6 to 7 second thing going and nothing's moving correctly. No, this is pretty damn good. This is pretty good. I'll be honest, I want one. What is it? What is this called? Orton AI? Oh no, that's the person there. All right, so the name of this movie, if you guys are going to check it out, is Immortal Blades. Immortal Blades. I haven't seen it, but I will check it out because I believe this is the future of cinema. They're not going to have a need for any of them people, just a computer, an idea, some prompts, and a really good AI, and a few images to reference the AI with. They'll put Denzel in a spaceship or whatever they want to do. They won't need anybody to actually do anything. They won't have to put the little green suits on them with the nodes and all that so that they can do the CGI will be a thing in the past. It'll all just be AI generated ideas, human talking to an alpha indigo, and then it creates the whole movie based on the script that a person said. It almost makes it too easy. Like it takes away from the creativity of cinema. But like I said, I can't say that they wouldn't be able to make something that would be interesting to watch. And if you make enough stuff that's interesting to watch, then you take over Hollywood. I see what they're saying. I see what they're saying. Shouts to Jay Coleman in the chat as well. Stopping in nice and early here. So I'm asking y'all, the question I'm asking is, would you watch movies AI generated with your favorite actors presented in them? Like if you like, let's say, what's his name? Channing Tatum. And there was an AI movie, but it had him in there. Would you watch the movie? And I would suffice people would watch the movie because they'd be interested. Curiosity killed the cat every time. So of course they're going to watch at least one. And if they get better and better and better, then eventually you won't be able to tell the difference. I mean, Fast and Furious movies have always been kind of out there. They had people in space in what was that, a Fiero or something? A Pontiac Fiero? And that's what I'm saying, Purple Groovy. We're not going to have nothing to do. You're either programming this thing or you're being entertained by it. But as far as the physical acting, they won't have a need for it. If they can render this well and not have to pay somebody $1 million to appear, and then they got to pay millions of dollars to get permits and blow up things in the middle of the street when they're doing Mission Impossible movies and stuff like that, why wouldn't they want to save the money? Just write the script, give it to AI, and let AI come up with the movies, give them the images, and there you go. You got a whole movie. So I'm going to let this clip finish out because, like I said, I'm very impressed. And you know I don't like the Alpha Indigos, but I'm looking at it. I'm like, look, if you put the right storyline, the right characters in here, people would look at this like it was any other movie. Crazy. All right, this is corny looking, but they can get better with
No.
that. Here we go.
Warning. Collision imminent. Eject. Eject.
This is not looking good.
I gotta get off this damn ship.
The water rendering was nice. Oh, you know what? Nope, I'm gonna stop right there. That is absolutely crazy. All I'm picturing is, let's just say they take your favorite actress, Scarlett Johansson, whoever the hell else, and they put them in these parts and these scripts. They won't have nothing to do. They won't have a need to do anything like that. And this AI is only going to get better. It's only going to get better and worse at the same time, but it's only going to get better. So, I don't know. I'd go watch it. I'd watch it. But yeah, they're basically saying, well, maybe this is Immortal Blade. So this is the AI one too? Oh my God. Hold on a second. Let me check out a few seconds of this. Oh yeah, it's over with. It's over with.
Is that what I think it is?
There are 5 holy blades that grant immortality and the strength of 100 men. The king has 1, and the other 4 were thought to be lost. But now, you have found one, and it has chosen you. The bond is forged, though incomplete. Only death can break it. And whoever kills you claims the blade. While you remain mortal, the entire galaxy will hunt you.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yo, I'm like I said, I understand that we like to see what we like to see. We like to see our actors as we have them, right? That's what we like to see, right? But Hollywood makes the call. They're the ones that decide who they're going to hire, how much they're going to spend. Somebody's got to put in money in production. So the people behind the money are going to find that this is probably going to save them some money. And even if they don't do the whole movie like that, like they're doing with this one, they can do at least half the movie, cut the contracts. They won't need as many people to do the jobs that they do. That's what I'm worried about. Not saying that there will never be a place for an actor, especially on Broadway. People still like to go see plays and live people as opposed to television shows and movies. So there's always going to be a place for the human in that realm. But as far as cinema and generation through computers, why would I want to pay somebody to do all that if I could create something with that much realism and never come out of the office off the computer? I don't know. I'm just saying. I already know how they think, so maybe I don't like it. Maybe I'd rather my actors and actresses be real people and, you know, keep it as real or realistic as possible. But I don't make the call, and neither do we. So we got to purge the bullshit of that to say this is what we're about to see. And I'll be honest, if you do it right, you can make some good entertainment with it. It'll just be phony feeling, like fake boobs. Looks good, but they feel funny, you know? Yeah, Jay Coleman, that's what we're talking about. You'll just be selling images. You won't have to do anything. You'll just sell, you know, go for a photo shoot. They'll take a couple of facial pictures of you making some expressions. They'll be like, now look shocked. Now look sad. And they'll use all of that and create a whole movie off of you. So, all right. Hollywood, they coming for you. Yeah, that's a wild one. I haven't seen that, but the second one is the one that was called Immortal Blades. The first one was just somebody's generated video. So either one was good, but the Immortal Blades one was really good. I would actually go see that. Well, not go see it. I'd bootleg it, but you know what I'm saying. I'd take the time out of my day to view it. I wouldn't really. Actually, I would. Let me not even lie to my people. No, I'm not going to lie. I'll bootleg it. Watch it in the comfort of my own home. All right. So, guys, we covered a problem recently, and I found out that you guys did not listen to me when I asked you to stop wilding out at the WNBA games. Okay? And I told you that there was a weird trend taking over the WNBA where people were throwing plastic penises, there's no other way to say it, onto the court. And apparently it has occurred again, actually twice in the past week. So we need to discuss it because I need you guys to understand that the WNBA's ratings have never been higher. And their viewership has never been higher. So I guess the question is, do we let this keep going on for the sake of viewing and the possibility that the WNBA would make some money off of the fact that people are throwing green penises on the court? I don't know. But let's view so you guys, I can't figure out who it is. I'd be trying to look at the videos, but after a while I see the thing fly across the screen so much, I start to feel sick. So I can't watch it repeatedly too much. But let me show you what we're talking about. Okay. So this is Las Vegas versus Indiana. This was number 3. We went over the first 2. So because it's a follow-up story, we got to go over the second 2 because apparently this is happening every week. I'm trying to figure out if it's just a specific team they keep doing this to or a specific player. I don't know. But there has to be a method to the madness. There's a sale. There's bringing this thing to the game. It's interesting. All right, let's see what we got.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor.
Hold on a second.
Got an object.
Said something just came onto the floor. That's diabolical. I'm going to let y'all hear that again. That's diabolical. He know what he was doing.
Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor. Got an object that just flew in as the free throw was being made. And it looked like that hit a player, too.
Oh, it hit a player. Check it out.
Something just came onto the floor.
All right, so apparently that was the third one. And shouts to IMZ motivating the chat over there. Keep the chat motivated. Y'all stay motivated in the chat over there. IMZ doing that. Thank you very much for that. And what's the other one? Okay, so there was more than one. All right, what's the second one? Oh, there was a second one. You know, I would hate to say it, but if anybody knows the people that are doing this, I gotta respect the trollage. I have to, but to some point, somebody could get hurt. Those things appear to have some weight to them. Oh, this one didn't make it to the floor. This one apparently ended up in the stands on the way to the floor. So they're throwing them from way back. Apparently these things can get some range. All right, let's see what this one's about. This guy has to radio it in. Did you see him radioing it in? Yeah, we got another one of these green ones on here, these green goblins.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay. Oh my gosh. Are you okay? Did it hit you? I have absolutely nothing to say. Oh my god.
Oh, she got hit with it? Wow. All right, so here's a question. Here's a question for the chat. If you were ever at a WNBA game and got hit with the green goblin, how mad are you going to be? Are you going to be mad enough to pick it back up and throw it at someone else? Or are you just going to sit there and let the security guy come deal with it like he did? I would probably utilize some plastic and hurl it back in whatever direction it came from, because somebody deserves to get that other than me. This girl got hit in the head with a plastic pecker at a WNBA game. That's the story she's going to tell when she gets home. So, like I said, they're getting more viewership than ever. It's like watching car racing for the crash. They're getting more viewership than ever. They're getting more attendance than ever. And whoever has created the mean green pecker machine is churning them out left and right and selling out on Amazon. Jay Coleman, you asked a wonderful question. Jay Coleman asked a simple question. Why? There's a lot of question in the why, but I will say this. I feel like it's an inside job. Okay? That's how I feel. Because how are you showing up at that many WNBA games if you don't have like season tickets? Or is there a Facebook group where these people get together, they buy tickets to different games, somebody's got a big box of green peonies, and they hand them out or ship them to people? I don't know how you organize something like that to where they're all the same color. Like somebody bought a bunch of them. Maybe they didn't need that many and they've been trying to figure out a way to get rid of them. So somebody in the WNBA was like, hey, how about you throw a few of them on the floor? Because I'm not even sure what the charge is for throwing something on a basketball court. like during the game, unless somebody gets really injured. But just throwing something on the court, like if somebody throws a beer on the court, do they go to jail for that? I doubt it. So I don't think throwing that thing on the court is going to get anybody in any real trouble, and that's probably why it keeps happening. I haven't seen them bring anybody to account for it. It already happened 4 times. I haven't seen not one news story or somebody come out, this was the guy or girl that did this at this game. They haven't said anything other than it keeps happening. So I believe it's an inside job. That's it. That's all. I believe it's an inside job, inside the WNBA. Up in the walls of the WNBA came this idea, and that's why the players seem to be laughing at it. Then Sophie Cunningham jumped on X talking about, please stop throwing those on the court. One of us might get hurt. And you know, they totally cooked her in the comments. Now people are literally watching WNBA games with the hopes that somebody there is packing one of the green packers and decides to toss it onto the floor. This is diabolical, and it's an inside job. So I'll say this. Let's let the you know what? Does the WNBA season ever stop? NBA season is over. Why are they still playing? Just asking. Just asking. I thought all that was over for a second. I thought the next thing was football. I thought it was over with. All right, maybe not. See, this is what I'm trying to say, Jay Coleman. I don't believe they're only at Indiana games. Like, let's be. The first one was, maybe it is all Indiana games. I'd have to go back in time. We did the episode before we had the first 2, and I know at least one of them was an Indiana game. So maybe it's Sophie Cunningham. Maybe Sophie Cunningham has put this whole thing together, because she was laughing way too hard in the first clip. She was laughing way too hard in this clip. I'm pretty sure that's Sophie Cunningham. Right here. What?
Got an object that just flew in as the free throw was being.
Here? See, this lady is very happy about it. Not scared, not offended. She is laughing her ass off about it. And she was pointing at her teammate like, did you do that? Did you throw that one? I think she's hooking it all up. I think Sophie Cunningham is a diabolical perpetrator of peckers on the playing court. Sophie, we see you. You're not I see it, but you know what? Hey, they said pay us what you owe us. People started throwing plastic penises on the floor. I guess they think it's an even exchange. So I'm through with these folks. That's diabolical, though. I mean, I like I said, it's working to some degree. So you take the negative with the positive on this one, I guess. You know, maybe they start to. What I'm waiting for is one of them to land with the suction cup down and just do one of those in the. Yeah, that's. All right, I'm sorry. It's something wrong with me. All right, next up. What we got next? Went to the Packers. Oh, okay. We got a new artist here. All right, I already know that this is going to be sarcasm because the clip came to me and the caption is, Latto is a genius. Okay. And we're talking about Latto, the rapper lady. Light-skinned, curly hair, that lady. So Latto. Is it Latto or Latto? Is it Latto like lactose, or is it Lotto like lottery? Can anybody help me with that? I don't know. I'm gonna say Latto. I'm gonna say Lotto. I like Lotto better because it seems like something where you win. But apparently Latto is a genius. And she was approached, or not approached, but questioned by a gentleman in a jewelry store with what is supposed to be a trick question. So let's see how she answers, and we're going to figure it out. All right? Y'all ready? Here we go.
Hold on, these make me smarter. Hold on. I got you. Hold on.
So $2,000 off if you can give me right answer. Cool?
Okay.
The 45th president of USA and the 47th president of USA, they both have the same parents. How is that possible?
They both got the same parents. The 45th president of the USA and the 47th president got the same parents?
Yes.
How do the 45th president and the 47th president got the same parents?
It's a mystery.
They got the same parents because God made us all.
Oh no.
And we all got the same parents. Because we not on the 47th president yet. That's why.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Hold on. The question is, how do the 45th president and the 47th president have the same parents? Now, I will tell you right now, if you're watching this show and you do not know the answer to that, just get off my channel. You don't even have the intellect to be here, okay? Latto apparently doesn't have the intellect to be here because she's stumbling on this question, and then she goes into a whole thing about God made all of us. She just went way beyond what was necessary for the answer to this question. I would have even accepted that they were brothers, even though that would have been wrong, but that would have at least made sense. You see what I'm saying? And in Latto's defense, 8 years ago, she was probably not even old enough to vote, or was probably just getting to that age, probably wasn't paying attention to politics, and may not have even understood what number president we were even at that point. But when she said the 47th president hasn't happened, that's where I lost it. I was willing to give her a pass for a couple of things all the way to that point. Now you don't even know your current time. Like, I give you 8 years ago, you was younger, you was a kid, but now you're a grown-up, and you have no idea who the president is now, and that president was the president at one time before. And that's the reason why that president would have the same parents as that president. I thought she was trolling, but she really is thinking. You could see it on her face. She's really going inside and digging into those little synapses and trying to get something to connect to make sense for her. I almost see her struggling with the question, which is why I had to pause it. Because I felt bad. I blame this on the public school system. That's what I blame this on. And a little bit of parenting, too. Because you know what? You got to at least know where you're at right now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let her finish.
And the 47th president got the same parents.
It's a mystery.
They got the same parents because God made us all. And we all got the same parents. Because we not on the 47th president yet. That's why.
It is. You want to know the answer? So the 45th president was Donald Trump. And the 47th president is also Donald Trump.
Too bad. Hold on, these make me smart.
And she was supposed to get $2,000 off of like whatever she's buying in there if she would have answered that hard question correctly, that trick question that she was asked. Here's the thing. When you ask somebody a question like that and put money on the line or some type of discount on the line for it, it's because you think they can't do it. And if you think a person can't tell you why the 45th and 47th president would have the same parents, it's because you think that person is an idiot. So this gentleman thinks Latto is an idiot. And she proved him right. And I feel bad for that because there's way smarter women out there, way smarter, pretty women are not all dumb, okay? She's pretty. She just doesn't know the world that she lives in. Like, she's just probably totally unaware, totally oblivious to the world that exists outside of her because she believes that the world revolves around her. So what importance would she have to knowing what president number we're on? She doesn't care. Like I said, she probably doesn't even vote. So for her, it's like, I don't know none of that because I don't pay attention to none of that. She didn't take a stance during an election. I didn't see her wearing no voter die shirts or whatever. So even though she's totally ignorant, she never proclaimed to be anything different. So I can't even be mad at her. I told you I'm mad at the public school system. Or some system that existed that didn't get her to pay attention to reality and what's actually going on, and just, it's such an easy question. This guy really thought she was dumb enough to get the question wrong and asked her that question and put $2,000 on the line. He was $2,000 sure that she was that dumb. That's disrespectful. Honestly, I think we need to talk about this guy. He's being mad disrespectful. And he's making her look stupid at the same time. So I think he was successful in that. But like Al Bond said, this y'all queen? This who we looking up to? This who we want to be like? People that don't even understand simple questions like that? Totally unaware of the world around them? That's who you want to influence you? Somebody that's not even aware of the world around them and how it actually works? Crazy. But she's cute, so she gets pretty privileged for that. And that's pretty much why folks keep an eye on her. She's easy to look at. But obviously not easy to have a good conversation with, because she'll give you some bullshit. So, do it, Latto. Now, the funny part was she said in the beginning that she had to put her glasses on because they make her smarter. What she said. That statement alone made me doubt that there was any additional smartness that could be achieved at that moment. This is y'all queen. This is what we're looking up to. These are our top of the lines here, right? Absolute. Okay. Oh, we got some more ladies here. All right. What is this one about? Oh, a DoorDash crash out. Look, I'm tired of the DoorDash crash outs, okay? If y'all don't start tipping these people or whatever it is they keep crashing out over, I'm going to need y'all to just help them out. They obviously... A woman detective say... Hold on. They're obviously out there... Oh, no, that's the nurse. Oh, that's after that. Oh, apparently somebody was faking being a nurse first. So that's the first BS. We got to get to that first. Then we'll get to the DoorDashers. But now you know that's coming up. So apparently some lady faked being a nurse and was able to provide care to, it says thousands. Okay, let's see what this is about. Hold on. Hold up.
Making a woman.
Oh, this is a WTF segment. So we know this is a WTF segment. So we have to say, well, that's Florida. Okay? So whatever happens in this, when you ask yourself why and how and just answer it with WTF, well, that's Florida. Okay? Don't want you to rack your brain too hard. It's a different world.
Detectives say posed as a nurse in Flagler County is now in jail. Deputies say the woman worked on thousands of patients by pretending to be someone else.
West 2's Justin Shecker joins us live this afternoon in Flagler County. Justin, we know you just got an update from the sheriff. What did he say?
Well, Sheriff Rick Staley describes this case as one of the most disturbing cases of medical fraud his deputies have ever investigated. Fortunately, the sheriff says there were no serious injuries or deaths related to this former AdventHealth employee who's accused of getting her job by posing as another registered nurse.
Hey there. Are you Autumn? Yeah. Can you step out of the car for me, please?
Sure. Flagler County Sheriff's deputy.
Wait a minute. All right, so at first glance, this is what they're saying. She posed as another person to be a nurse. So is that person alive? I have that question. That's first. Is that person even alive? Did they work this out together? Hey, I don't feel like going to work today. You want to be me? You know? And then it just became a thing. The lady liked it. Or maybe she just really wanted to be helpful so bad. She wanted to help the world so bad that she felt that this was the best way to do so, was to pose as a nurse and go in there and just handle business as she did. So let's see what we got. Now she's getting arrested in her scrubs. So she obviously just either got finished working or she getting ready to go do this thing again. Now I'm hoping that it's in the beginning and not they let her work another day after they knew what was going on and caught her when she got home. I'm just saying. Let's see what we got here.
Deputies arrested 29-year-old Autumn Bardisa Tuesday for 7 counts of practicing a healthcare profession without a license and 7 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification information.
I would say this is greed or wanting a job so bad that you would manipulate.
All right, by the way, this guy sort of has a smile on his face. I don't know if you're catching it. He's got a little bit of a smirk. To him, this is somewhat funny. I'm just... little body language I'm seeing here, but he's obviously was somewhat tickled by this, which hopefully nobody got hurt. It just said that she treated a bunch of people. It didn't say that she actually hurt anybody. So honestly, she might have been a pretty good nurse. Just saying. Because if I go be a nurse right now, somebody gonna get hurt in the first 24 hours. So if she managed to do thousands of procedures, y'all might be missing out on a good worker there. I'm just saying.
Greed or wanting a job so bad that you would manipulate a system and assume somebody's identity to be able to practice. You went to school, but you failed the exam.
The criminal investigation began after Advent Health Palm Coast Parkway terminated Bardisa in January for impersonating another registered nurse.
She was up for a promotion to a charge nurse, and that triggered a review of her documentation.
Wow.
At which time they determined that it was fraudulent.
All right, hold up. Let's unpack. She did such a good job that she was up for promotion. And because of the promotion, and they got to run your paperwork again, that's how she got caught. So the woman was actually a pretty good nurse. I'm just saying. From what I'm hearing, she was doing the damn thing. Now, she failed the exam that they gave her at medical school or whatever, but she's posing as an RN, not a nurse assistant, an RN. You see what I'm saying? She was about to get promoted to like the lead nurse. Although diabolical, I must say this woman had to be skilled. Let's give credit where credit is due. She obviously knew what the hell she was doing if she got through thousands of cases and got a promotion. So I'm just saying, let's not be super hard on her. She was trying to prove that the test that y'all gave her in the school was BS. And she wanted to show you she could still do it. I get it. That's what the cop was saying. Yeah, she wanted this job so bad that she went through these links to basically prove to them that she was a capable nurse. I'm just saying, she was capable, obviously. That's why that guy's smiling. Because he's like, yo, this is crazy. She was actually a pretty good nurse, but we got to arrest you because you can't impersonate someone and be a nurse. Did she impersonate? So she impersonated. Let me let it finish. Maybe they'll answer my question. Hold on.
Purging affidavit says Advent Health hired Bardisa as an advanced nurse tech in July 2023. During the hiring process, she lied that she passed her exam, and she provided the license number matching another person with her first name and a different last name. Wow. Bardisa claims she was recently married and had a new last name.
So they congratulated her on getting married, asked her to provide copy of the marriage certificate,
oh my God,
which she never did.
Between June 2024 through January, detectives say Bardisa treated nearly 4,500 patients as an RN, despite never holding a valid nursing license.
Yo.
The sheriff says the state attorney filing a charge for every potential victim was impractical.
They charged 1 count for each month that she worked at the hospital as allegedly a fully licensed, authorized RN.
The affidavit says in March, a state medical quality assurance investigator first interviewed the other Autumn, who works as an RN for Advent Health in South Florida. She told the investigator she took other steps to protect her credit in case Bardisa attempted to steal her identity outside of her medical license.
She found somebody with her first name, different last name, but how she was able to find is they actually went to school together.
Yo.
But they did not know each other.
All right, this is movie level. Remember the movie Heathers? For those, I might be giving my age away here. There was a movie called Heathers years ago where this lady or girl impersonated somebody else. This is a really good movie plot. And I got to say to this lady, maybe she wasn't supposed to do what she was supposed to do. Maybe she wasn't licensed to do so, But she did a wonderful job with these people. They could only give her 7 charges, and they just charged her for some months that she had a particular task. She did this for like 2 years, like 18 months, they said. So I got to give it to her, man. Got to give it to her. And I'll tell you what, she knew she was about to fail that test. So she had this backup plan because she knew she was about to fail whatever test she had to take. And she found this girl, probably befriended her. Oh, we have the same first name. And got to know all the little information, probably took a picture of her license, or somehow got into the documentation there at the school and pulled her information somehow. But she got a driver's license number. That's what started it. And used this other lady's driver's license number who had the same first name, different last name. And she told people that she was married, and that's why the last name was different. It was a diabolical plan. We must give credit where credit is due. I'm not saying she was right. What I'm saying is she has a very interesting way of thinking. And if we could, direct that into the right places, she might be very helpful in some things. I don't know. I'm just saying. She was obviously a hard worker. She was showing up every day for work for a job she wasn't even supposed to have, and was doing such a wonderful job that they promoted her. And now the sheriff has to come on here and talk about why they're arresting her for being so good at the job that they had to promote her, and that's how she got found out. That is crazy. That means if she'd have chilled out and not done such a wonderful job, she could have continued to do this for years. Nobody would have said nothing. But she had a knife to grind, or axe to grind, as they say. She had a chip on her shoulder. She wanted to show these people, screw your little test. I'm the best nurse y'all got. And she really went through these lengths to do so. So, like I said, she was wrong for doing it, but let's just be real. She was obviously a pretty good damn nurse. Okay?
And Bardisa was booked into the Flagler County Detention Facility on a combined $70,000 bond. She does have an arraignment scheduled for September 2nd. And the sheriff is asking anyone who believes they might have been one of her victims to send an email to fakenurse@flaglersheriff.com. Covering Flagler County Live. All
right, so I'm just going to reference something here. Did you hear what her bail amount was? $75,000 is her bail. 2 days ago, I covered a story about a young gentleman who unalived 2 people in a gas station over a road rage incident, and he had a $5,000 bail. So you can unalive some people and only get a $5,000 bail, but you can be an obviously capable nurse. And even though she was wrong, like I said, she was wrong. You cannot practice medicine without a license. That's the law. But it doesn't seem like she hurt anybody. Doesn't seem like they had any malpractice suits against her to the point where she was being promoted. And she got a $75,000 bail. Something ain't right there. You can tell me all you want about the system being fair. That's not fair. That other dude should have had $1 million bail, and maybe she should have had the 75. I mean, Al, I get it. She only needs 10%, but what about the guy that got the $5,000 for unaliving 2 people? He only needed what, $500, $50? $50 if you get one of them Baltimore 1% joints. $50, and you out of jail. So I'm not saying that she can't get out. What I'm saying is the amount that she is being given for a bond is way more than a person that was in there for shooting 2 people in a gas station. Different state, obviously, but but we already know. We already know what the answer to it is. We already know what the problem is. We're already going to say it. Well, that's Florida. Only in Florida could you have somebody impersonate somebody else and be a better nurse than everybody else who was there and get promoted over top of them to be the head nurse and didn't even have a license. So the question becomes, what's up with their actual licensing exam that this woman couldn't pass it but was still a better nurse than the rest of the people that she was working with? There's a lot of questions here. But I'm not going to let them just paint her as some type of a villain. She obviously was providing care for people, and she did actually want to be a nurse. So she wasn't in there trying to, assisted suicide people. She was actually trying to provide care. You know what? I ain't even mad at her for that. I hope she fares well. Go back to school. I don't know if they'll let her ever be a nurse now. I don't know how that works. But that's a good one. I mean, like, if you're going to do something, then there's the moral side of, well, she was actually helping people out. You know, kind of like the Robin Hood theory, as they call it. She was helpful. And apparently the other lady didn't have any other issue happen with her identity other than the licensing thing or being this RN. She said that there hadn't been any, reports of identity theft for, credit or whatever. Why? Because this lady was an RN and was probably making good money. The truck she was in, that was a BMW truck. Those aren't cheap. She was pulling up in front of a house. She lives in a house, obviously. So she was doing all right. So she didn't need to identity thieve anything else, because really, she just wanted to be a nurse. She didn't want to be a credit card thief. She just wanted to be a nurse. That's it. And you kept her from it, and she said, forget what y'all saying. I'm still a nurse, regardless of your little stupid test. So that lady, I hope they hook you up. I hope they hook you up. Sebastian Pelega, thank you for the super chat. Sebastian says, people like that need another chance for success. I 100% agree. And that's why I'm all for them giving her an opportunity to take the test again and become what it is she obviously wants to be and obviously is capable of being. Can't take away from that. But, the legal system likes to do stuff like that where they'll take people who are actually qualified or better qualified than others and disqualify them for some goofy shit. Now, granted, this was diabolical, but nobody got hurt. That's the main thing I want you to understand and know. Every crime isn't okay because somebody doesn't get hurt. What I'm saying is she was actually helping people at the same time. She wasn't just in the place, sitting at a desk. She was performing the things that they had taught her. So technically she was trained. She just didn't pass the little test at the end. That doesn't mean she didn't learn anything in class. Obviously, she learned a lot of it. So I'll give her credit, and hopefully, what was her name again? I forgot her name. It was Jasmine or something like that. See if we get her name.
Another person with her first name and a different last name. She lied that she passed nurse tech in July 2020. The charging affidavit says Advent Health hired Bardisa as an advanced nurse tech in July.
All right, Bardisa's her last name, or at least that's what she's supposed to be. So I'm not going to say they need to let her go, but $75,000 bail might be a bit much if she didn't hurt anybody. But that's Florida, so get out of there. Good luck over there, Bardisa. Flagler County. I'm just saying, just like Purple Groovy saying, just like Sebastian Pelega saying, I'm glad you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying the woman was right. I'm just saying she was actually being helpful to other people in her crime. And if we're going to tell people that they can unalive people and get a $5,000 bail, then this woman shouldn't have no $75,000 bail. That's stupid. She's obviously going to have a tough time getting another job. She kind of screwed her life up, but I think a private practice might be able to find her and let that go. You know what I'm saying? She can go back somehow. She can get a certification, a CNA or some certification, and she can get back into that field. There's no way they need to keep her out of that field just because of this if no one was actually home. I think they should get around that. But I'm not the person making the decisions, and we know that Florida can be some sticklers when it comes to stuff like that, unless it has to do with presidential people. They don't worry about felonies when it comes to presidents, but misdemeanors when it comes to regular workers, big thing, big deal. All right, what we got next? Oh, we got the DoorDasher thing. Well, that nurse lady, I feel bad for her. She really wanted to be a nurse so bad. She went to those lengths. It's not like the people that do the impersonating an officer thing, where they impersonate like a police officer so they can assault women or steal stuff from people. That's not the same thing. This lady actually was helpful. And considering the healthcare situation as far as staffing, she probably was very helpful to the staffing shortage they have. So justice for Bardisa or whatever. That's what we're going to say. So this next one, I don't think we're going to be as happy.
She did this
Some lady got upset with a DoorDasher. We're going to go to the DoorDasher. We're going to see the clip. And we're going to see what it says here. Let me see what we got here. Sorry. Got to put the caption up first. All right, let's do it. Now, here's the funny part, though, guys. For those that are in the chat basically agreeing with me about that last lady and the nursing thing, YouTube will view that as us promoting criminal activity. That's how that breaks down later. So I'll have to answer for that, but I'll stand on it. I think that lady deserves a second chance. Now, we'll see if this DoorDash customer deserves a second chance. Apparently, a DoorDash customer tracked down one of the DoorDash drivers at their house. So be careful if you're running DoorDash, because apparently the app, if you don't cut it off a certain way, the person that, like the last person that you were with, can see your current location. That's how this lady's house got. So careful out there.
She did this over a 10-piece chicken wing. She passed fryers to come here.
Now at 6, Milwaukee police investigating a frightening encounter for this DoorDash delivery driver.
Court documents say a customer allegedly followed Faith Morris home because of an undelivered food order.
Our Lighthouse reporter Ben Jordan spoke with Faith today about her push for policy changes at DoorDash.
She picked up one of those bricks off of the neighbor's lawn and she threw it onto here.
A smashed windshield.
This looks like she was beating my car with the four-way.
A hammered hood.
Knocks my rearview mirror off, busts this window, and the whole window out here.
And passenger side windows now in pieces on the ground.
This ain't no junkyard car. This is a 2024.
Faith Morris's livelihood as a DoorDash delivery driver.
I can no longer work right now. I can't make deliveries.
Now out of commission with...
I guess insurance doesn't cover vandalism? Her insurance doesn't cover it? Says she can't work, she can't, I mean, you know, you definitely can't drive this around. I'll say that. You cannot drive it around, not with that windshield. Not with that, no. There's no way around that. But here's my question. If a person's beating up your car outside, wouldn't you come outside and, like, say something? I don't know. Maybe she was scared. Let's see. But I'm just saying, you're not going to get this much damage to my vehicle while I'm in the house and there's no damage to you in that process. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's going to be some damage all around. It's going to be collateral. It has to be. It's only right. Principles involved.
$6,000 worth of damage. All over $18 worth of fast food.
I was outside for 10 minutes. This is the hood. I'm not about to sit outside with my kids in front of somebody's house I don't know for over 10 minutes.
This search warrant says Faith was unable to complete the delivery due to losing internet connection with the DoorDash app and returned home. Faith says that's when the customer bombarded her with calls.
She says, "You just told me to have a blessed night. You said you was at home. I got your location."
Minutes later, a knock on her door caught on camera before Faith says she saw the woman proceed to bash her car. She believes the customer was able to track her home using the app's GPS since the order was never delivered.
I actually need a lawyer so that by the end of this, I can own DoorDash and change the policy. Because first of all...
Wait a second. So you're running DoorDash in the hood so you can become a lawyer and own DoorDash. Yeah, she said that. Now, look, I'm all for having high expectations and goals for yourself, but that's a long ways away from having to deliver DoorDash in a Mitsubishi in the hood, being the owner of DoorDash. You can't own DoorDash. First of all, it's not, I hate to say it, but she can't own DoorDash. She's not even of the correct group to be owning DoorDash. She's not. She probably doesn't even know how the app works. So I see what she's saying. She wants to be a lawyer. Guys, she's going to be a lawyer soon. Hopefully she doesn't have to impersonate someone else to do the job. But it looks like she's very adamant about that with her name in her earrings. She's very professional. And it looks like she has a Genesis necklace on. So maybe her name is Jennifer, or somebody's kid is. All right, let's back it up to right here, okay? This is all over chicken wings. An $18 order of chicken wings. Sebastian Palega, thank you for that super chat as well. Sebastian says, YouTube needs to let the real people talk. Now, we already know that. That's why we're here. That's why we do this, is because there has to be a space with real conversations going on. These are real issues and real situations that happen in the regular public. You know, we touch on politics from time to time. We're going to get to our political segment in a second here. But there's more to our country and our world than just what's happening at the White House. Because we got to deal with angry DoorDash customers. We got to deal with people walking into office buildings with rifles. They don't do that in D.C., like walk into the White House with all that. They don't do all that. The closest anybody came to that was that January 6th bullshit. And that did happen, but it only happened once. These other incidents happen all the time. You got nurses giving you IVs that ain't supposed to be in the hospital in the first place. This is stuff the regular people got to worry about. So we got to have these real conversations. So thank you again, Sebastian, for the super chat there. This applause is for you. Now. Okay. All right. So I'm taking it back because I need y'all to understand what this was all over. Some wings were supposed to be delivered. They didn't get delivered because I guess when the lady got there, she said the app wasn't working and she left. Now, let me tell you what she didn't leave. She ain't leave them wings. Now imagine this, you driving and your car is smelling like the best food ever and you want a wing. You want a wing so bad that you might be willing to pull this whole thing just so you can eat that chicken box. I'm just presenting the news, but let's think objectively here. Because if a person's communicating with you about this order and they say, hey, I never got my order, and somehow they know where your house is and they're threatening to come to your house, at minimum, if you haven't eaten the food by then, put the food outside your house then. That way when they walk up, you know what, there's your wings outside, bro. I wasn't coming back over there. She ate them wings. That's what all this is about. This is not about that cheap-ass order. You had to smell them good-ass wings all the way over to that house, and you was like, if this lady don't come out here in 10 minutes or whatever it is, I'm taking these wings, and I'm going to have me a chicken box. And that's what she did. That food was gone by the time the lady got to her house to ask about the food not being delivered. And you're not going to tell me different, because I can't sit in the car with some good-smelling chicken wings for that long. And then what do you do when you don't deliver it? Are you going to throw it away? Hell no. You're going to eat them wings. She ate them wings.
$18 worth of
she
fast
ate them wings.
food.
I was outside for 10 minutes. This is the hood. I'm not about to sit outside with my kids in front of somebody's house. I don't know for over 10 minutes.
The search warrant says Faith was unable to complete the delivery due to losing internet connection with the DoorDash app.
So why not knock on the door? Why not beep the horn? Why not try to deliver this food? You know why? Because she wanted them wings bad. She probably put on the airplane mode or something and cut off the connection and said, hey, I don't know what happened. And then she was so pumped up about getting home with these wings, she forgot to log out, and it tracked her location all the way back to her house. Not saying that the person was right for beating on her window. What I'm saying is, don't make it seem like that person was just being, you know, they were ignoring the fact that you were delivering to their house. No, she wanted the wings. I can't sit in the car that long with some good-ass chicken. Sorry. And I'm going to say the obvious. I'm black. And so is she. And I only know one black person that doesn't like chicken, and that's weird to me. But so is guys that can't grow facial hair. So I'm interesting like that.
Returned home.
Anyway.
Faith says that's when the customer bombarded her
Blew
with
her
calls.
phone up.
She says, you just told me to have a blessed night. You said you was at home. I got your location.
Minutes later, a knock on her door caught on camera before Faith says she saw the woman proceed to bash her car. She believes the customer was able to track her home using...
Now, I don't know if y'all saw the person in the video, the woman that they showed. This person that's sort of blurred until she turns around right here. That looks like a full-grown man. It's a woman, But I wouldn't have opened the door either. That one looked like they could put something on you. So that's partially why she didn't open the door. But I'd have thrown the food out the second floor window or something. Because you don't want this walking around the streets hungry. When this is walking around the streets hungry, that's why your car got destroyed. Something had to pay. This thing is not small. This is not no little dainty, petite woman coming up here talking to you about some chicken wings. This person obviously eats chicken wings all the time. And you keeping them from the chicken wings is the crime. I'm sorry. It is. Now, I see Jay Coleman threw something in the chat and said he had spent some money on a DoorDash order. But sounds like you didn't have this same problem. Oh, so she went less than a block from the restaurant and canceled it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I used to do deliveries for Uber, food deliveries, and I did this once. I was in the hood, man. It was 10 minutes. I wasn't gonna wait, and that food was smelling good. Food was smelling good. I'm trying to I forgot what it was. I think it was a calzone or something. And I couldn't help myself. So Sebastian throws another super chat in there. Look, guys, be more like Sebastian. Sebastian supporting the content. I appreciate it. Sebastian put in there, her kids were at home, not in the hood. Okay, well, we can say that, but they said a few minutes later, meaning this woman didn't live too far away from where this delivery did not happen. So she wasn't that far out the hood. She's talking about, this ain't no junkyard car, this is 2024. It's 2024 Mitsubishi, not even a Highlander, the smaller one. The one that they tell you can get for $99 down, the sign and drive event. I've seen the commercial. But I will say this, I don't fault the lady for being hungry. But if you decide to eat that meal, there are consequences and repercussions, and this is what that was. I'm not saying that either party was right. What I'm saying is one person was hungry, they ate, and they paid for that food with their car. Not going, what do they call it? Eye for an eye? Car for a chicken box?
To bash her car. She believes the customer was able to track her home using the app's GPS since the order was never delivered.
I actually need a lawyer so that by the end of this, I can own DoorDash and change the policy. Because first of all,
she said she needed a lawyer. I thought she was trying to be a lawyer. I messed that all up. So guys, we don't have to worry about her possibly being your lawyer or owning DoorDash. Whew, okay. Not that she ever was going to ascend to those heights, based on what I'm seeing. But at least we don't have to worry about that. But yes, she's trying to sue DoorDash for this. How you going to sue DoorDash for it? DoorDash didn't beat up your car. That big brute of a woman that showed up in the other thing beat up your car. So sue that person. What you scared? You scared to sue that person. I told you that's a scary looking woman. She's scared of that woman. Ain't said nothing about her. Like, I'm going to sue DoorDash. Oh, really? DoorDash didn't do that. You did when you ate them chicken wings. I know them wings was good, too.
yes, DoorDash policies need to change.
DoorDash sent TMJ4 a statement that says, this customer's actions are completely uncalled for, unacceptable, and disturbing. We have permanently banned them from our platform and are in touch with the Dasher directly to offer our support. The Milwaukee Police Department says the investigation is ongoing.
Oh, look at that windshield. You're not going to get away with that in front of the house. Not while I'm looking at you through the Ring camera. Like, I can see you outside beating up my car, and I'm going to just let you do it. Nah, she was in there watching this thing like a movie and eating them chicken wings and fries. Like, okay, all right. You going to beat up my car? These chicken wings good as hell, too. They was probably still hot. She only waited 10 minutes. She was at the house in 15 minutes. Man, that was a good meal. I hope it was worth it, Miss Lady Ma'am. I hope it was worth it. But I feel bad for you, but I know she ate them wings. Nobody said nothing about her throwing the food away, taking it back, refunding the customer, nothing. She ate them wings, and she got what comes when you eat the wings of a brute woman like that other person that we saw in the video. It is what it is. Lessons were learned today. I'm all for it. Oh yeah, DoorDash ain't paying for that. They took the person off the app. That's fine. You can just get another username and do it, do it different. Use somebody else in the house. There's ways around it. They did nothing. They did nothing. They did nothing. And they damn sure that lady won't eat nobody else's chicken box again, I guess, if she ever starts door dashing again. You learn that lesson. Okay, so we're still in Ratchetville. Okay, apparently we're still in Ratchetville. Apparently there is a viral clip going on right now about a Walmart Big Momma who wants to smoke. Walmart Big Momma wants to smoke. Oh yeah. Okay. Walmart Big Momma wants to smoke. You guys have probably seen this one because there is millions of views on this video. So this might be something that everybody's already aware of. But yes, Big Momma wants to smoke. Y'all ready? They ready. Go.
Take that nasty ass vest off.
Man, I don't care. It's work.
Punk ass nigga.
I don't care. It's work.
All right, see, I already need context.
You some tired and watch that motherfucker. You nasty nigga.
Wipe around your mouth.
You nasty nigga. You wipe it. Make me. Make me. Yeah. Cause I put my finger and my pictures in your face.
Is you done?
Bitch ass boy. No, I'm finished.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Make me go.
You want somebody to do something to you?
I don't want nobody to do nothing to me, baby. Your mama gonna be crying about you.
Your folk gonna be crying about you.
Bitch, nigga, my mama dead.
Oh.
I said Joe folk.
The fuck you mean?
I ain't said nothing about your mama.
Don't you never in your life.
Don't some message me.
Now what you gonna do about that?
Don't some message me. I swear to God, like.
Yeah, do something with your bad ass.
First of all, I'm going to unpack real quick. And Sebastian, thank you for the super chat. DoorDash needs to protect their windows. Yeah, okay. DoorDash ain't protecting nobody. DoorDash is getting over on everybody that's dashing to them doors. They get money from y'all, putting your car through all of that, and your stomach's through it by having to smell all that good-ass food in the backseat that you're not supposed to eat. Better put it in the trunk, or you'll be tempted like me. Now, I'm going to say this about this video. A couple of things. Number one, I am going to give the young man props for not being a total crash out in this video, because it looks like, just based on physics, he could probably hurt that old lady. So props to him for being cool. Hold on. Let's start there. All right. Props to him for being cool. Now, I have an issue with Walmart. Nobody else at Walmart is coming to assist this gentleman. Nobody else that works there is coming and saying anything. There's no security person. He doesn't pick the phone up to call security. This woman threw something at him. Looks like a bottle that she threw at him. He doesn't react or respond to that. She got her fingers and hands all in his face. This is what I would call threatening. If the roles were reversed, okay, and the person behind the counter was a woman, and the person doing what the lady is doing was a grown-ass man, he would be going somewhere in handcuffs immediately. The police, somebody in the store would have probably hit him over the head with a big screen TV. They wouldn't just let him continue this. But for some reason, I don't know if it's because she's older and we're just going to allow, this whole respect for our elders and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you what, respecting your elders includes letting them know when they wrong, dead ass wrong. I'm not saying he need to punch the lady in the face, but he could have called security or something to try to assert his I'm at work presence. I'm at work. I've got 30 people in this building who also work with me. That means I got 30 people that got my back. They're not going to let you jump over the counter and all that kind of stuff. But he doesn't seem to make that movement. And then the people and the customers are just walking by. So apparently in Memphis, this is how they get down. They just look the other way. They don't care. They did not care that this man was being accosted by this lady. And he looks like he's trying to stay so calm. I'm giving it to him, man. He's staying calm as hell. I'm not that calm.
Bitch, nigga, my mama dead.
I said Joe folk.
The fuck you mean?
I ain't said nothing about your mama.
Don't you never in your life. Now what you gonna do about that? Yeah, do something with your bad ass. That's what I thought. Give me my pictures. Okay, well, call the manager then. Call the manager then. Yeah. You telling him he ain't watching my mama just died February talking about your mama. I don't play no games.
He didn't even say that.
You don't play mama games. Your folks gonna be crying. No, they ain't gonna be crying, nigga. You gonna be crying because you don't even know who the fuck I am.
I don't believe anybody knows who you are, other than the family members that have probably spent the last 10 years trying to stay the hell away from you. I would venture to say that her children and offspring are not in the best position either. If they were raised by a person that's wilding out, now I get it. You want your pictures because you dropped off your pictures at Walmart. You're supposed to get your pictures back, and your pictures aren't ready. But is that worth all of this? He's not even the photo guy. Like, he's in an area, but I don't think he's the photo guy. So whatever pictures you're there to pick up, he ain't even developed them pictures. He got nothing to do with that. This is a young man at work. Like nobody cared. Yo, Sebastian is issuing threats. Talk about, I would have said you have 15 seconds to change your tone and talk to me like a normal person. Yeah, you're talking to my guy all wrong. Wrong tone. But I would have easily done that, had her removed from the store. I don't see why that was. He was letting it happen, but I don't think he had to. Then when she threw something at him, he would have been in his right to throw something back at her. And then she probably would have hit the floor crying, he hit me, and would have been also old crying, and then everybody would have been beating that young man up over that. So he's fortunate that he had his wits about him because she was trying to bait him into something. Then talk about, he said something about her mother dying. Her mother's not even dead. He said your folks. Your folks means your friends and family. For those that don't know Ebonics, when somebody says your folks, on folks, that means friends and family, people I'm close to. Doesn't necessarily mean individually your mother, but it doesn't exclude her mother either. So technically, she was right in saying, my mama dead, because that would be included in the folks. But we're expecting real thinking from somebody who's obviously been stupid for at least 6 decades. At least 6. I don't know how old she is, but she's at least 6 decades in with this mug and this outfit choice at Walmart on a Saturday. And you got your headphones on. Like, you just walking around Walmart, you can't hear nothing. Bumping into people, being ignorant. Anyway, I'm just tired of seeing this kind of stuff where people go off on young men, and the young man has to now stand there and just take it, because the second he responds, it's going to go somewhere totally different, and he ends up in jail. When she assaulted him, she threatened him, she put her hands in his face. She said that his people going to be crying over him. Basically, that's a threat to say, I'm going to unalive you. Like I said, if people don't understand the Ebonics, she threatened this man repeatedly. Nobody came to his aid. He didn't call security, probably because he just was like, you know what? I'm not even going to do this with this lady, because then I got to deal with the police and I got to go to court as a witness. He probably just didn't want to deal with it and figured to some degree she was harmless. But then in the second part of the clip, you see she comes behind the counter. He had a little thing up. She's not even supposed to be right here. This is the repair whatever area. She ain't supposed to be back there. So she could have been trespassed right there. She could have been locked up right there. You went behind the counter in a supermarket, they can remove you from that supermarket immediately and charge you with trespassing. Calling him everything. Like I said, she obviously had no respect for this guy or the fact that he was at work. So I'm through with her. Like I said, I'll give the guy credit for not wilding out, because I'm not that calm. I definitely would have cussed her out. I wouldn't have hit her or nothing, but I have a voice and a way with words. This lady would have never forgotten that interaction with me. I'll tell you that right now. And she would have got locked. I'm through with her. All right. All right. We got one more, and then we got the last one. Okay, so we got 2 more here. 25 minutes. All right. See what we got. We got Crypto schemes. Got 2 of them, though. Hold on. Let me see which one's the shortest one. They got two people, apparently. They're trying to warn me about crypto schemes. Which one is the coolest one? Let me check it first.
Cryptocurrency has seen
that one. About this up. I think this one might be. I don't want to use this long.
First,
yeah, we'll go with this one. All right. So apparently, Jesus, we went back to Florida. Okay. Another WTF segment, guys. Prepare yourselves, because it's happening again. All right.
First at 5, a social media fraud scheme is catching people's attention.
A woman? That's a woman. This Florida woman. Not Florida person that identifies as a woman. This is a woman. Well, she had a rough one. And had a really rough one. Hold on, let me bring the words back a little bit so y'all can see. Sebastian Polega with another super chat. Sebastian, you on a roll today. Thank you. You're making the stream worth it. You know, putting up some good comments, good super chats. Like I said before, guys, be more like Sebastian. And he said that lady would have walked away crying if it was him. That's how I feel. She would have definitely not left with all of that energy. That would have been a whole different energy when she left me. But this lady apparently has been charged in one of those crypto schemes called a tap-in scheme. So if you've been invited to one of those tap-in joints where you get it on your Facebook and it's like tap in and you can, give me your Cash App or whatever, yeah, this is one of those.
With cash, a woman is facing charges in Hillsborough County, accused of using people's bank information to deposit fake checks and cash in. The sheriff's office says she was targeting people with different types of bank accounts. Fox 13's Kylie Jones is joining us live with the details. Kylie, break it down for us.
Well, Haley, the message from detectives here,
Kylie,
it looks too good to be
hot.
true. It is. And in this case, detectives believe there are multiple layers to what they're calling a tap-in fraud scheme on social media.
A picture of cash might catch your eye while scrolling social media. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office says that was this suspect's tactic.
She was posting like pictures of cash, and she was asking.
Wait a second. Can y'all see? Y'all can't even see this name. I don't know if y'all can see it now. Her name is Jeanette Sleaze Martinez. Janet Sleaze Martinez is her name. Janet Sleaze. So her name is saying she's sleazy. I'm wondering why people didn't pick up on it. Janet Sleazy. Or yeah, Janet Sleazy. Janet Sleazy Martinez.
Pictures of cash, and she was asking users, hey, if you have this bank account, hit me up, reach out, let's connect.
Investigators say Jeanette Sleaze Martinez was advertising a tap-in type of fraud scheme. She'd use it to get the person's banking information.
She would then deposit a fraud check and then use their account information.
All right, they're telling us the whole scheme. Why are they not hitting them for promoting criminal activity? That's what I would get hit for if I explained the scheme, but I'm going to let them keep explaining because I'm interested.
To immediately withdraw the cash from that account before the bank could notice that she deposited that fake check.
Some of the photos featured hundreds of dollars worth of cash. Investigators say Martinez would follow up with photos of withdrawal receipts. A retired FBI agent says he used to investigate a wide range of fraud schemes with similar narratives.
I have a check. Can somebody, I'll give you 10%, that kind of scam that you see. And for a lot of people, if they're willing to help somebody out and then make a few bucks on the side, they'll do that.
In this case, an anonymous tip led to Martinez's arrest. Detectives uncovered more than 100 crimes.
She looked like Lil Wayne or something. I'm sorry, most times when they show a picture of somebody, they don't just show the mugshot with the suicide suit on. Because that's what that is. That's the suicide suit with the pads. So that means that she got put into place and they had her on the watch, 72-hour watch, and they put her in the suit. It's the butt naked room is what it's called for those that don't know. It's the room they put you in where they think you're going to harm yourself. And if you happen to not harm yourself, that's a good thing. But yes, you're butt naked in there. You might have some slides on, like some flip-flops, but the rest is this padded suit in one room, no windows, and you get a toilet. So that's probably why she got that look on her face. But I'm just saying, they couldn't find a picture that better represented her outside of the suicide suit. Like, they wanted her to look absolutely horrible, because she looks absolutely horrible. Like, I wouldn't do business with this lady unless it was supposed to be something shady. And I guess when you tap in and expect free money from some Cash App glitch, then yes, you are trying to be aiding in a crime. Because you know that shit ain't legal. You know it ain't right. You know you ain't supposed to get it. So if you want to do it, you are complicit in that to a degree. If you're on your Facebook stories and you see somebody do this, I've seen it 1,000 times, and then they have a bunch of people saying, oh my God, I just got my deposit, thank you so much. They do all this with Photoshop, AI generators, and things like that to make you think that it's legit, but it's bullshit. And we all know it is. So if you get caught up in it, kind of your fault. Kind of your fault.
Credit cards belonging to other people and more than $6,000. Now they're trying to figure out if Martinez acted alone.
Seeing if the people she was working with, were they meeting up? Were they connecting on social media? Was she saying, hey, I'm going to do this and we can split the profit later?
Absolutely.
Or I'll pay you this much of the deposit of the money that I get from.
Yes.
Experts say the potential victims in these types of cases aren't just the cardholders.
The banks are eating those costs. They're eating the non-sufficient fund fees. They're having to spend money on investigations. It really is
poor
millions,
banks.
if not billions of dollars.
And the sheriff's office is still working to figure out whether there are more suspects or victims involved in this case.
Okay. Well, honestly, I think you guys already have seen that in your lives. And apparently, because crypto and all of these digital forms of media have become like the new norm, now people are letting people gain crypto, but then they come and rob them for like their crypto wallets. I didn't even know that was a thing. So we'll do this story real quick and then we'll get to our last little piece and then we'll get up out of here, okay? So check this one out.
His popularity explode over the last few years, embraced by not just the tech world and celebrities, but also retirees looking to boost their nest eggs. And with crypto's rise and plenty of people making millions, some flaunting their wealth very publicly, would-be thieves have taken notice too, targeting crypto holders and engaging in what are known as wrench attacks. That's when a would-be thief threatens or violently attacks someone in order to gain access to their cryptocurrency holdings.
Well, wrench attacks on this channel is if some idiot manages to get in the chat and the mods grill the shit out of them. That's called a wrench attack here on this channel. But apparently a wrench attack in the crypto world is you're trying to get somebody's crypto.
Let's get more now from CNN Shimon Prokupez.
Caitlin Saragusa's attackers came under the cover of darkness, guns drawn with one demand.
Just do it!
They point the gun at me from the hallway, and they tell me to stand up. And so I'm freaking out, and I'm standing up, and there's a chair over here. And so they kind of just all come towards me because there's three of them, and they corner me into the chair. And that's when they start like pistol whipping me, asking where the crypto is, holding me at gunpoint.
He told me I grow a garden just like a serpent.
Saragusa is a famous streamer and OnlyFans model known to her millions of followers as Amaranth. And while she's no crypto kingpin, she believes that a tweet 9 months earlier alluding to her investments in crypto is what prompted the attack.
So you're sitting there and the three of them are like...
Oh, it was the crypto that prompted the attack, not these pictures? Not these interesting photos? Really? With the caption, "Do I sell or hold my BTC?" People are looking at it like, what? What are you talking about? Is that a bikini top? BTC? Is he talking about a bikini top? No, they're talking about Bitcoin. So this is how you sell Bitcoin now. You put some sexy pictures up and you sell Bitcoin that way. So I guess that's what we're going to do next. Right? OnlyFans to sell Bitcoin. Diabolical? but brilliant at the same time.
The attack.
So you're sitting there and the three of them are like around you like this, sort of.
Yeah.
Masks on,
guns,
and then one guy,
Yeah,
is it here?
he was on the side of me holding the gun to my head, and the other one was here hitting me.
What Syracus's assailants didn't realize, the entire attack was being captured by surveillance cameras.
Yeah, because
And
she's an
Caitlin wasn't
OnlyFans
alone.
model. She keeps
She
everything
called her
on
husband Nick when the attack began, and he was listening to the entire frightening episode from another part of their home.
I got to hear kind of all the
Whoa,
dialogue. that was
wait a second. Wait a second. I don't know if y'all caught that. I don't know if y'all heard that. Her husband was in another part of the house. So he wasn't coming up there to deal with these guys that have his wife at gunpoint, pistol whipping her in the upstairs bedroom or OnlyFans room or whatever they called this room. So she's talking to him. He's in another part of the house. I don't know too many women that wouldn't be like, if you don't get your ass up here right now, you know what I'm saying? Marriage is over. I don't know. Maybe y'all's relationships are different, but when you call your husband who's in the house because somebody broke in the house and they're trying to rob you and they got you at gunpoint and they're pistol whipping you, you probably want your husband to come and assist. You don't want him to just be down in the basement hiding like, look, I wish you were here because I'm in the cubby in the basement. Ain't nobody going to find me. I wish if you could get down here, that's where I'm at. That's how he treated it. Let's see.
Of their home.
I got to hear kind of all the dialogue that was happening, and then even them hitting her. I'm running over here. I go to the little safe thing I have here, and I type in my code, and then it pops open. I grab the handgun, and then I slip this on, grab this, and then I'm rushing downstairs.
Fearing for her life.
Hold on a second. This guy said he slips on a tactical vest. So this little thing here on the side, I don't know if y'all can see it, is a tactical uniform that he apparently took the time to put on. This is all while your wife is being held at gunpoint and being pistol whipped upstairs. You done took time to do a wardrobe change. You got to get the thing out the safe. There's a lot of precious time missing here. I'm sorry. I don't see how the two of them together. I will say I noticed the two of them ain't in a shot together. Like, they don't seem to have a really tight relationship. Both of them should be in the shot at the same time talking about the incident. Not him back in the basement again. Apparently that's where he be at, and she's way upstairs.
And I'm rushing downstairs.
Fearing for her life, Saragusa decided to lead her attackers towards her husband.
So at this point, you're out.
Because he wasn't coming up there.
Like, oh, I remembered where it is. I'll take it to you too. Like, it's so comical, honestly.
And so how does this is blood here?
Yes, that was from my hand bleeding after it was touching, my head dripped onto my hand.
Surveillance footage
clean up the
captured
blood on the
Saragusa
walls yet?
sprinting across her driveway, leading them to what she hopes is an ambush.
As soon as I turn the corner of these stairs, he's there, waiting at the top, and he tells me to get down. And I'm about like right here when I do. I just hug the side of the wall.
I fired 3 shots. I hit the guy once, I believe, in the lower abdomen area.
Attacks on prominent crypto holders have been growing. Police say in May, a man in New York was kidnapped, held hostage, and tortured for 3 weeks by men trying to gain access to his Bitcoin account. He escaped with his life, beaten, bloody, and barefoot. That same month, in France, gunmen ambushed the daughter and grandson of a French cryptocurrency boss, attempting to abduct them off the streets of Paris in broad daylight. And it's not just the crypto elite being targeted. In 2023, an elderly couple in North Carolina was held hostage by 2 men posing as construction workers. They zip-tied the couple before threatening to cut off the man's toes, genitalia, and rape his wife before making off with more than $150,000 in cryptocurrency. Both men were convicted, and Justice Department officials say the ringleader is now serving 47 years in prison for his involvement in a series of similar attacks.
47 years. Seems fair. Breaking into somebody's house, trying to take their digital money. But I didn't know this was a thing. Like, this is the thing. Apparently, if you got a lot of crypto, people want it. They don't want to invest in it. They want to take it from you, take your crypto wallet, and I guess purchase things with it. I'm not even sure what they do with it after that. I don't know. I don't fully understand the whole crypto market. I'll be honest. I don't. But if it's enough for people to risk doing 50 years in prison for, it must be pretty lucrative. That's just an honest truth. So I don't know. I don't know if any of you guys have crypto in large amounts. I would say keep that to yourself, because apparently these guys are not playing about this.
The other is awaiting sentencing. Ari Redboard is the global head of policy for TRM Labs. They're a blockchain intelligence firm that tracks wrench attacks. They issued a report this year analyzing wrench attacks and identified 3 key factors contributing to their rise: the perceived anonymity and irreversibility of cryptocurrency transactions, the public visibility of wealth, and the ease with which personal information can be gathered online.
We've seen a spate of these recently, I think in part because you're seeing copycat type of activity. One gang says, hey, we can do this, and then we can steal these funds and move them at the speed of the internet, and another kind of does the same.
So these are the bullet holes, actually. And there's their blood still, where they were bleeding from.
Because this is the blood from one of them being.
Yeah.
So these are still the bullet holes.
Yes. And some fragments.
Caitlin Saragusa and Nick Lee are now taking more precautions. They've hired private security and installed a 12-foot high steel.
Y'all didn't notice that you never saw the husband and wife in the same shot together? I don't know, that just seemed weird to me.
Fence around their property.
Stop playing!
As for her attackers, the man who was shot survived, and all have been arrested and charged in connection with the crime.
The crypto thing now is there's a lot of concern over security for people who own crypto.
Yeah, I would say if you have crypto and you're public about it, definitely make sure you live somewhere where you can have a gun.
What a story, and clearly not a one-off here. It's a trend. So, Shimon, what is law enforcement doing to try to stop these attacks?
Dude's name is Shimon. Shimon! Shimon!
John, you're absolutely right. It is a trend, and it's happening all across the world. One of the things that law enforcement is doing is they're trying to work with people all around the world, partners all around the world, to try and learn more about this, to work with them, because this kind of crime is now stretching everywhere. The other thing, there's a lot of misconception about crypto and the idea that it can't be traced. Well, as we saw in some cases, they have been able to trace the crypto. And what the law enforcement is doing now is they're trying to work with private partners, people who know how to trace this stuff. It's called blockchain tools, and working with those firms to try and find some of these culprits, some of these bad guys that are doing this, to try and prevent it from happening. So it's a lot of...
All right, well, we get it. So if you have a bunch of crypto, so Sebastian, you got a bunch of it, don't tell people about it, apparently, because you could be subject to a wrench attack. So this is now, it's frequent enough that it has a nickname. Not just a home invasion anymore. Now it's got its own special nickname because of what they're there for. So I didn't know that you could do that. Like, just take somebody's crypto wallet and just, like, there's no recourse that they would have, considering the fact that it was theirs in the first place, like if you go ahead and use it. So the problem with that I'm seeing is that they don't have a lot of regulations around that stuff. Crypto, AI, a lot of stuff is still new, and the way that our legal system works, very slow. So they need, testing. They need some people to come in as experts to talk about it. They need to go to Congress and talk about it for like 4 straight hours. They're going to question somebody from a crypto company. It takes them forever to do anything when it comes to stuff like this, because a lot of the folks in Congress are older. They have no real understanding of this shit. And the ones that do have a real understanding of it do nefarious things like insider trading with it. So don't expect there to be any real legal recourse for the taking of the crypto, because it's not technically money. So unless you can give it a specific value, you can't hold somebody criminally responsible for the crypto. Now, these guys, of course, broke into a house, so there's that crime. If you get somebody's information, you stalk them, find out where they're living at, there's all types of crimes that go with that. But the actual crypto changing, apparently, according to this guy, there's really nothing you can do about that, which really sucks for those that have crypto. So make sure you protect your wallets, get the little biometrics or whatever you need to protect it. But sounds like that could be a whole different problem. Be careful out there. All right, let's jump into the last thing, so I can get out of here. As usual, I got shish to do, okay? So this next one I'm bringing up because it is the talk of the town recently. And the town, I mean, when I say the town, I mean the town of D.C.
Tonight,
so I got to give y'all the story. The other day, maybe 2 days ago, one of the Doge personnel, guy that has been called Big Balls, or at least his handle was Big Balls, so he's popular in that regard. apparently he was in D.C. and some lady got attacked by some youths, as Trump would call them. He called them youths. So, yeah, he called them youths, but they were black. So that was the talk of the town. Was 8 black guys beat up big balls. That was the initial caption, and I didn't know what it was about at first. I had to go find out because when I heard 8 black guys beat up big balls, I honestly thought it was going to be a Diddy situation. Hey, Jay Coleman, thank you for stopping by, too. I know you got stuff to do. Like we do. That's what we do here. This is Purge the BS. We always got some shit to do. That's why we can't do this all the time. I can't do 24-hour streams and stuff like that. I got shit to do. Now, maybe we'll get to that point one day when it becomes fully lucrative in that regard. But for right now, no, we got shit to do. So, Big Balls got beat up by some guys who were apparently assaulting a lady. And now, all of a sudden, our president has decided that he wants to federalize D.C. Like he wants the federal government to deal with policing and crime in D.C. So that's what this story is apparently about. So let's see what they got to say. And truth be told, it does take some pretty big balls to go take on 8 people. So he earned his name.
Tonight, President Trump once again calling for a federal takeover of D.C., and it is looking like he is getting support in Congress.
Fox 5's Tom Fitzgerald is live by the White House. Fitz, we've heard these threats before. This time, though, it hits home for the president.
It's a little bit different, it seems, Jim. You know, in the past when the president had talked about taking over D.C., he had mentioned things that he was unhappy about, like cleanliness in the nation's capital, homelessness, and, of course, the crime rate here. But now the president is ramping up these threats once again, especially in the wake of 2 15-year-olds now in custody in the brutal alleged beating of one of his own administration members.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to pause it because D.C. is known for having criminal activity. So why now? Why do we need to do all this now? Is it because of the big balls being dropped in DC? Big balls got dropped in DC. And now all of a sudden there's a crisis because this one person, not all of the thousands of people that get accosted, robbed, and unalived in DC every single day, every single weekend, in that area. Nope, that wasn't enough to stir the pot. No. But once them big balls got involved, now we got to federalize the government. So are you just saying that the protection is only for people like big balls, people that work for the Trump administration, not the people that actually just live in D.C., the regular people that live there every day that have to deal with this shit every day already? Now all of a sudden you won't wake up, oh my gosh, we have a problem. No, D.C. been had a problem. Way before Trump was president the first time. And nobody was talking about putting federal troops or nothing like that in D.C. to deal with regular ass crime, regular D.C. crime. Not saying that I don't feel for big balls. Sorry he had to get hurt. But why would he be the only reason why this needs to be done when this has been a problem? I don't know. Y'all can say what you want. I know how y'all feel. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to get in trouble for saying it. But y'all know what it is.
Edward Coruscant is part of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE as it's become known, and he was severely injured Sunday morning early along with a woman friend of his during an attempted carjacking in Northwest D.C. Now, the president later posted a picture of Coruscant after that attack, taking over.
Okay, wait a second. Like I said, I got to unpack it as it goes. Attempted carjacking means they didn't get the car. See, carjacking, they left with the car. An attempted carjacking means they didn't leave with the car. So, according to this, they attempted to carjack. And initially, when I got the story, I thought that the lady was like a random stranger just outside, and Big Balls was outside, and he saw this going on, and he put the Big Ball superpowers on and went and took on 8 people. Not that he was with the lady and they were like together, and that's what happened. So he was trying to defend this woman, which is noble. I'll be honest, it's very noble. But I'm a little surprised that the carjacking itself was never completed. Because if you beat up the guy and he's laid out on the ground and the woman's, consoling him, oh my God, I can't believe you just did that to my boyfriend, then you just run off with the car at that point. You have completed the carjacking. So why leave the car? So I don't know, maybe it wasn't a carjacking. Maybe it was random. Maybe somebody was talking shit and somebody started talking shit back, and you know how that goes. But it's a way better story to say, yeah, they were trying to take the car. He stood up for this lady, who was being attacked, according to the initial report, and he was harmed in that regard. It spins better for what Trump's trying to do. So.
D.C. local government, though, by the federal government, won't be that easy. Congress would actually have to overturn the 1973 D.C. Home Rule Act. Now, some political analysts say it remains to be seen whether or not the president would follow through on this. However, some of his supporters on Capitol Hill say he is serious.
We're going to have to federalize and run it the way it's supposed to be run.
All right, I'm going to pause that there. Sebastian Polega, thank you for the super chat. Sebastian said what we know here on this show, and anybody that's watching, D.C., New York, Chicago, all have the same issues. Pretty much every major city has crime issues. That's kind of part of the whole crime thing and city living. I'm not saying that the crime is okay. What I'm saying is nobody gave a damn until big balls got dropped. Nobody cared about the people. They didn't even care about, what's the other guy that got beat up? It was one of the senators. Somebody over there got beat up. They didn't really care much about that. They didn't trip too much when Kristi Noem got her purse snatched. That happened. Not taken off of her, but it was like by her chair somewhere. Somebody snuck up, took her purse. It wasn't a big deal. No big deal. She might have had nuclear secrets or federal information inside her purse. She shouldn't have, but she might have. That could have been bad. Could have been a national security thing. I don't know. Point is, they didn't make a big deal out of it. They talked about it for 48 hours tops, and it was gone from the news cycle. In this one, Trump is talking about actually putting something in place to deal with crime in D.C. So I just want to make sure that we understand that this is the change was the Doge guy named Big Balls. Nothing else changed in D.C. There was no uptick in crime that was significant this year that wasn't there a year before or exists in every other major city in the United States. So.
He doesn't let things go easily. And in fact, the more he's told he can't do something, the more likely it is that he wants to follow through and say, yes, I can.
With President Trump threatening this, he's probably got a more than willing Congress that would go along with that. So we're going to hear from the mayor in September.
Now, it turns out there is already a bill in Congress right now which would end D.C. Home Rule. It was introduced by Tennessee Republican Congressman Andy Ogles. It's called the Bowser Act. It's named after the mayor, but it stands for bringing oversight to Washington and safety to every resident. It would effectively end D.C.'s home rule position, which created the form of government which governs the city right now. As for the neighborhood where this happened, Swan Street Northwest, which is at the center of this debate, a lot of the residents told Fox 5 that they don't feel that their own neighborhood has a crime wave underway.
I love it. I've never felt unsafe, and I'm a tiny blonde 5'2" woman. I've never felt unsafe in this neighborhood at all, ever.
It's not the safest neighborhood in D.C., but it's definitely not one of the most dangerous.
I think it's one of the things that happen in the city. I feel safe around here.
Fox 5 did reach out to the office of Mayor Muriel Bowser today and the D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab. Neither was available for an interview. However, both staffs pointed to the declining D.C. crime numbers here, showing crime is down 35% from its spike in 2023. We're live.
Okay, so crime is down according to the actual statistics. So there's no need for a change in federalizing criminal policing, but it sounds like there's a much bigger game at play here in terms of D.C. and how it is governed, because it's not technically a state. So I don't know if I think I heard that they were having this conversation about if D.C. was to be part of a state, a neighboring state, which one would it be? Would it be Maryland or would it be Virginia? My vote was Maryland, because Maryland has a whole bunch of government stuff going on there anyway. And the way that it sits in the land, it just kind of would fit better in Maryland than to be a part of Virginia. Because if you put it as part of Virginia, then it's sort of like when you're in Maryland going certain ways, you have to go through Virginia to get back to Maryland. Anybody who's traveled there knows what I'm talking about. If you're coming down, 295, you'll come through D.C., then come back into Maryland for a hot second, then go into Virginia. It's this weird thing that it does with that particular part of the state. So I would say in this case, the big balls thing is really just being used as what they call it, a flag event. I'm not going to call it a false flag event because it really did happen apparently. But it's an event to say, ooh, see that? That's why we need this. Even though it's an isolated event, you heard the residents there say, oh, this is like the safest neighborhood. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I've been here for years and I've never felt unsafe here. Then the one lady said it's not the safest neighborhood, but it's definitely not an unsafe neighborhood. So that probably means you get a lot of people around breaking into cars, stealing Amazon packages off of Porsches, that kind of shit. Not a whole bunch of homicides and people getting jumped and carjacked. So with this one, I don't know if they're downplaying it, but I think we need to pay very close attention to what they decide to do as a result of it, because it sounds like there's already some things in play and they'll use this incident to make their point. To say this is why we need this is because big balls got dropped in D.C. And we can't have that continue to happen, so we need the Trump administration and legislation to come together and come up with a new way to run D.C., where who knows what they're planning. D.C. has its own police force. Then they have national type of police down there, like for the White House. Got the FBI and those guys are down there. You got DEA folks down there. You got ATF folks down there. You got the federal, like the Capitol Police. That's its own thing. And then you have like Homeland Security. You've got, I think they got enough damn police down there. Even if you just took out the DC police force, the regular one, DC Metro Police, there's more than enough officers to still handle stuff. I'm not going to say that this idea wouldn't work. What I am going to say is it doesn't seem like it would work if you don't do it on a grand scale in multiple cities. And I don't think a lot of cities are going to want the government doing the policing there. So if D.C. becomes part of Maryland, they can't just do this in D.C. They'd have to do it also in Maryland. So I don't know. It's one of those weird things. You guys have your own opinions about it. I don't think it's necessary. I think they need to better train the police in those areas. I think the school systems and the parenting need to be better. That also cuts down on crime. And people having a living wage so that they're not thinking of stealing because they can survive off of what they're making. These are all things that we could do to address crime that don't necessarily involve adding a government police force to deal with the city. I just think that we could do more with less in this regard. And what I don't want to see is the military get called in to dealing with D.C. and have to use lethal force on citizens. Then that'll be a whole nother story that we have to deal with on the news. So I don't think that's a great idea. I think they need to do more reform in other areas and not so much in how they police D.C. That's just my thing. That's just how I feel about it. All right, guys. Well, there was a secondary Trumper post, but I don't want to go over that one right now. Apparently, Trump got into it with Charlemagne the God, and he was talking about Charlemagne the God shouldn't be able to use the name God. It's something stupid. And personally, I don't like when our president, any president, gets into shit on social media, like arguments on social media. This just seems beneath the office, to be honest. Let the people argue for you. Like, if you're the president and people like you, then folks will argue for you. You don't need to be on there taking shots at Charlemagne the God, who's just a radio host from New York. Like, he's not even, the Breakfast Club's not even nearly as relevant as it was when Joe Biden was on there talking about, if you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. So at this point, I don't think it's worth his time, any president's time, to be arguing with people on social media. That seems stupid. When you need to go go govern some shit. You know what I'm saying? Go govern some shit. That's all I want y'all to do. I need y'all off my social media. Go govern some shit. So anyway, I got to get out of here because, as you know, as always, I got shit to do. So let me give my shout outs and get up out of here. All right. Of course, Sebastian is the VIP of the episode with the super chats today. Thank you very much for stopping in. I appreciate that. Albon, my sergeant at arms, the leader of the mod squad. Thank you for always holding post and making sure don't nothing get crazy up in here. You know what I'm saying? And let's see who else came through. Who we got? Purple Groovy, I Am Z. We had Jay Coleman stopped in. We had who else stopped in here early? It was somebody that stopped in early that I didn't see. It was, I thought I said Purple Groovy. Well, I'll say Purple Groovy again, Jay Coleman again, and everybody again. So all of the people who have supported the show, I want to thank y'all for your support. We're going to have to make a decision at some point whether or not on YouTube to stick with the widescreen live or the vertical live. Because I need to add another live stream for Twitch, and it'll use up the bandwidth if I have to do the 2 YouTube streams at the same time. So we're going to do a vote on that. I'm going to put it up in the community joint. I'll let the people vote on it as a poll, whether we keep the widescreen only or we keep the vertical only, and the widescreens just become members only video. So you get a membership, you can watch it in widescreen. You do the regular joints for the live. We'll figure it out. I don't want anybody to say nothing right now. I don't want you to vote right now. I just want you to enjoy the fact that we have purged today and that we will purge again on Saturday. We're going to do a Saturday night episode delving into some things that are kind of interesting because we have to do some relationship content. People really ate up the content with the reaction to the, what was that, Pop the Balloon NYC. So we'll start incorporating some more of that. I try to stay away from that kind of stuff because it's tough to watch. To watch people that are like, you know it's not going to be easy for them out there. And if you know that that's the pool that they're dealing with, it's depressing. It makes it look bad for the future. So we'll get into some more of that. But for right now, I want you guys to make sure that you do the best that you can with the time that you have. And like my man Jay Giddens would say, surround yourself with positive people, places, and things. That's my boy, man, Jay Giddens, with the quote. But if you don't have anything to do and you don't have nothing productive that you think that you need to do today, then that, my friends, is the bullshit. We out.